The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Tennessee Titans. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Here we go, set, 60 Pittsburgh.
Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On second down, it's Lewis. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6.
Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. Right here, guys. Fight. Go.
They'll drop the throw. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Next, the receivers have spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Johnson. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Off the draw. Here's Johnson. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And it's 3rd down. Reset. 19. 54. I got you. Check 26. Check 26.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now a toss play. This is Foreman. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Now on 2nd and 13. Watson, Dixon, complete. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Pretty solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman, able to get a hand in. Richard Sherman there to knock that one away. We've seen that a few times in his career. And
he played a very tough route really well there. Dig route. Oftentimes you get the impression receivers going deep and trying to get your hips turned and you taking off and running. Instead, he stays square, stays with him, and comes back and makes a play on the ball. One of the best things about him, takes very few false steps.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. They'll set up a throw. He finds Taylor, complete. First down, Titans, gain of 12.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Lewis here on first down. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. We're scoreless after 1. Ready for the second quarter from Tennessee, and it's the homestanding Titans in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming.
Go! Ready!
On the handoff, here's Lewis running right. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a first down.
Partner, it's not often that I expect running backs to eclipse 100 yards in back-to-back games, but he left 100 way behind last week. I think he's going to do it again. I'm expecting 150 or more.
And last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. So if he does what you say he might, maybe he'll get another one.
Yeah, I think he's locked in.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked off by Dylan Cole. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
Watson completes it to Dixon. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Watson hands this to Foreman. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Let's go. Houston. What is that? 19. Mike 54. Mike 54. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Check. 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 Let's go.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know. Whip, 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 whip. Watch the whip. Let him go.
They'll run it with Johnson. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Hey, 31. Mike 29.
Out of the gun, Watson escaping the pressure right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run. This is Lewis. Shifts by him. Lewis has the 1st down and then some. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run. Big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
The first red zone opportunity for the Titans. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. On 1st and goal, Drake. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Kenyon Drake hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game.
Next to score, Titans 7, Texans nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
All day, every day. Hey, switch gears.
Throwing again is Watson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here we go. 8, read.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Man open, it's Goodwin. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
2nd and 4. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Look at me, zipper. 51 to Mike. 51
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that's caught by Smith. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
They'll run on first down. It's Lewis, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Ready? 60 yours. Ready?
A give running right, Drake. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
80 weapons.
It's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 5.
He gets this into the hands of Taylor. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
They stopped him in his tracks. Gonzalez's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Watson. Screenplay, Johnson. And he is going to lose yardage here. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Dane Cruikshank. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
At the 36-yard line.
Ready? 70, Indy.
Hey, tighten down. There you go.
On first down, Lewis. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Here we go. 50, plant.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Hey, Delta.
51 to Mike, boy. 51.
Hit it.
Second and 13. Complete. Smith has it. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Let's go, baby.
On second down, it's Drake. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
51 to Mike. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. From the 2 now, second and goal. They'll run for it with Dion Lewis. And he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. Dion Lewis, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, being on the second half no matter what. Well, those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
First and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're down 17-0, really needing to find that offensive spark on this drive as they have it with a 1st and 10. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Mike, 54. Hey, 59. Get in the weight room. Right there, 54.
Looking to throw on second down. Watson. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And now off to the races down the right side. And he's going to score. It's a Titans touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and the lead is now 24. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Their own 29-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Here's Watson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. A good pickup there of 22.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it, because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw, Watson. Eluding the pressure. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. It's picked up by the Titans. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Ready, ready. 30 base. Watch the run, watch the run. Yes, yes. Hey, seam 6, seam 6. 55, Mike, guys, 55. I got it. Mike 55, Mike 55, Mike 55. Watch the out, watch the out. Get it.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that's incomplete. The intended receiver, Taywan Taylor. And that'll bring up second down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Hey, echo. 5.
Second and 10. They will find Davis. That's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well.
It's just me and you. It's just me. Two-jet bomber. Two-jet bomber. Go.
On first down, Drake. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
At the 25-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's second and 5.
Go. Go. Mike 55. 5. Here we go. Yep. 55. Mike 55. Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus. 55's Mike, guys. Hey, Zoo. Ready.
Second and 5. That's going to be caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Taywan Taylor, his 6th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
Next the score, Titans 31, Texans nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Watson now to throw. And a sack. They get to him defensively, but the flag comes in, and I think the D jumped. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Mike 29. Come on, D.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Watson going deep for Hopkins. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Okay, partner, hyperbole alert, all right? I think that this has got to be the best game I've seen this secondary play this entire season. Doesn't matter whether they've been in man, zone, they've reacted, communicated, and really made plays on the football.
They absolutely have. And the play on that last deep ball, maybe the best example of it, they've been solid all game long. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
To throw is Watson. And this is incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Titans, they've got the football back, and they've got it in great field position.
Here we go. 90 Wolf. Defense.
And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Titans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Hey. You don't know no better.
They'll set up to throw. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Go.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike.
Now.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And it is incomplete. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And this Texans defense stands tall. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule, that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
That one goes for 24 yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Watson. A bootleg. Rolling to his right. And he's going to keep it here. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Now this play was all about the eyes. As he rolled out to his right, he kept one eye downfield and one eye on what was in front of him, and he ended up picking up some pretty good yardage.
Here we go, D.
Watson off play action. On the move to his left. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The offense on third down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at third and a few inches. Now Watson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Give him 6 yards in the first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Harold Landry, the blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Flushed out right. It's complete to Hopkins. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down. The Texans on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. A shotgun snap for Watson. Completes it to Dixon. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it first and goal. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got it second and goal as they look for a late touchdown. To Johnson again. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down. They've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? Here's Watson. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Daquan Jones. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And maybe a final chance to get on the scoreboard here. This is 4th and goal. Here we go on 4th. Watson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard. and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Hey, watch your legs.
They'll start things on first down with Dion Lewis. And not much there at all, as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo!
They try again with Lewis. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Titans, they fall a game under 500 now at 3 up and 4 down. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Houston, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.